I'm on my own path and I do it my own way. And at the end of the day, people are just looking to hate on me for anything. So that's just how it is. Everybody wants to kind of put me down. So they're just trying to say that or use something against me, but it's fine with me. You know, I block out the haters. I block out all the people who are trying to, you know, prey on my downfall.
I followed Dylan before he became Conor McGregor's coach. You never saw this from him. You never saw all this like, oh, like look at my fashion, look at this money or anything like that. First of all, you don't have money. Whatever money you have, Conor's giving to you, all right, for training him. You don't make much off of BJJ, but be your authentic self. You're not going to be the best copycat. You need to be authentic and be you, be original. Don't be the best. Don't be a copycat.
I'm just training hard and doing what I have to do, and I just keep a tunnel vision on what's set for me. You know, I don't really give a shit about anybody else or who's hating on me, who's saying, "Oh, Conor this, Conor that." And then the day they hate me and Conor, so they're just trying to put, you know. So I like Conor. I think he's the man. So it's like, it's not like a bad comparison.
Look at Nick Diaz. They never even tested him for positive. He just admitted that he smoked the weed, and then they gave him a 5-year ban. And it's nowhere in their laws that they're allowed to do that, but they did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you find that the commission says something, you better just jump to it because you can't fight them. You can't fight them. How many decisions have you and I seen where the damn decision should be overturned, and it never is? You know, these guys fight it, and never is overturned. You know, it's like they're supposed to be there to help us, but the vast majority of the time, they're not helping anybody. The commission can call whatever shots they want. It doesn't matter if it's within the laws of what their own governing body says. They still do it. Because if I'm not mistaken, if Kane had his doctor approve him to compete, and they had showed the MRI and the letter from the doctor, there should have been no stopping him from doing it. I mean, he was doing everything he needed to do. There was no signs of anything, no injury, or there was not going to be any further injury to his back from as a result of that fight. But they decided upon their better judgment, you know, and it's just the same thing they did with a bunch of other fighters.
You called out Khabib Nurmagomedov. A lot of folks had responded, you know, okay, Kevin, great win, but why are you calling out a guy who's at the very top of the division? Why not someone else who could be a tough challenge in a very stacked weight class somewhere in between?
Here's the thing. I don't see him as the very top of the division. You know, I think his fans have made it that way. You know, they talk him up. They talk him up a big game. But really, when you look at it, he's only beaten, two world-class fighters to me, you know, two real fighters. You know, I don't give him that much credit, to be honest. To me, he's not at the top of the division. People see it that way because he's got a big fan base. Put it this way. If he wasn't from Russia, there's no way he would be at the top of the division. You know, his most impressive fight is Abel Trujillo, and this was 5-6 years ago. You know, the guys were fighting in they weren't even fighting in Reebok gear. So when they make his highlight film, he won't even be in the Reebok shorts. I don't give him that much credit. He's only had 2 or 3 fights in the past 3-4 years, and I've had 10, 11 fights since then. So I don't give the man much credit, to be honest with you.
So what do you mean if he wasn't Russian, he wouldn't be this popular? You mean because the Russians seem to rally behind their fighters and they're a large population?
Yeah. I mean, you look at all those Russian dudes. I mean, it doesn't really mean much. The social media game, not too much. But even just looking at the social media, I mean, I've had so many, thousands and thousands of Russians, hit me up and, they want to say, call me all types of shit. You know what I mean? Even the Russian fighters, I think that other kid is whatever his name
Makhachev.
He's got 300,000 followers or something like crazy like that, with 1 or 2 UFC fights, and Khabib's got millions. It's because they're Russian. That's how it should be. The people should support their people. I'm not against that, but at the same time, we can't hype the guy up too much. I don't even understand how he's ranked above Ferguson when his biggest win is RDA, and Ferguson just stomped a better, improved version of RDA when he fought RDA 3-4 years ago. He's like the Conor. Conor's kind of got the same thing for being Irish. You know what I mean? He had the big push up front. I'm seeing Khabib the same way. The man doesn't fight, but he still gets ranked above other guys. It just doesn't make sense.
This is #1 bullshit.
normal.